We are back again at the Grey Matter, and we have Kerry Scardino with us, a person, a mompreneur, an entrepreneur, a person who's pivoted from being a therapist or an insight miner to doing different things in life and ending up in the space, the gray space, which is getting more black as the time goes around in CBD. She's had her stint with Skin Chanted, which is a skincare brand, and I don't know much, and that's why she's here. Kerry, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here, and I'm very excited.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
How do we start? Should we go from the now to the past, or should we come from the past to the
Yeah,
now?
I think we can start from the beginning, right?
Let's start as when you were the insight miner at
Yes.
some amazing bar.
Yeah, well, when I was a bartender, the bartender's extraordinaire. So I got my career started definitely in customer service. I always had that little edge of, I really genuinely love hearing people's stories. And it was something that really propelled me in bartending. I was a daytime bartender, which is very different than a nighttime bartender.
Yeah,
You have
those
to
guys are difficult.
a lot more conversating, right? You're not just here for the band, you're here because you're eating and hanging out with everyone, and
Yeah.
we're making community and culture. And then when I was 26, a young lady, I started Skin Chanted, and the focus was aesthetics. I am a New York State certified esthetician, and it fell into my lap. The month that I opened Skin Chanted, I also became oncology trained.
Wow.
So I am specific to holistic healing and holistic health with a special concentration in oncology clients.
And was that backed by any education, or was it just pure serendipity?
Yes, no, you have to get certified every 2 years because things change so much in healthcare and especially wellness for oncology. So it is a recertification. I was certified by Touch for Cancer, which is actually a Canadian-based program when I first started. And then Oncology Spa Solutions is based in Washington State. So continued my education, but it's been a passion of mine starting from when I was in almost high school. My mom had skin cancer, and it's one of those things that you just take it so to heart. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and I said, there's got to be some healing for people that have the white coat syndrome, that they're always going to do chemotherapy and radiation, and they're doing these really hard things, and I could come and touch them healing and holistic and loving. And to be educated in that is really important, because as a technician, chemo can be skin to skin contact traced.
Oh,
So I could receive their medication. Not that many people like to get touched when they're having their specific treatments, but it was very much what not to do.
yeah.
How to keep them safe, how to let them enjoy an experience that won't bring on more harm to their body that's already so immune compromised, and then how I can, help heal and guide them through this journey of a new normal.
Yeah.
So that
A
was,
word that we became familiar during COVID, right?
yes.
But you started Skin Chanted when it was 2012.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
2012 I started, and I was a solo esthetician for 7 years.
Okay.
And I also I have to say this because the story is so compelling, but it was only a little part of it, right? The oncology patients were so wonderful, and I was so happy to lend a hand. But for the most, my bread and butter was waxing and facials. Everybody that came around the neighborhood, I do eyebrows, I do the nether regions, and I actually am one of the only people in our area that did mansilians too. So I wax guys. Yeah, so it was painful, but also takes like an expert touch. And I find that in my 13 years of being an esthetician, the storytelling through it helps so much. People always say, oh my God, that was the least painful waxing I've ever had. And I said, because we were talking the whole time, right? I now know your story. And I would remember. And that's how we build relationships. And then they would come back, once a month, once every 3 months, seasonally, usually for a facial is ideal. So it was like a wonderful thing. And then I grew so much that it was like, okay, time to buy a space, time to hire employees. And it was such a great learning lesson, but I have found in myself that I love being a solopreneur.
And that all started in New York?
All started in New York. I've been New York based, born and raised.
Born and raised
Born
New
and
York.
raised.
An entrepreneur So Skin Chatted, it started as skincare regime products.
Exactly. So I did holistic skincare. So whether it's using a cleanser, an exfoliant, how to prepare for our skin, every skin cycle is 7 to 14 days. So to exfoliate it in between is very important. And somebody with an epic beard, right? What do we do for that? So it's guiding people into wellness that it doesn't have to harm their body. So very anti-inflammatory. The product line is actually based in Nevada, but many recipes and botanicals outsourced from India. So very clean Ayurvedic, exactly. So my start actually was in Estee Lauder, who owned Aveda and MAC Cosmetics. So I've been back-end skincare, wellness, healthcare for a long time.
That's all the product side of it?
Exactly. So I was the sales administrator for the whole Northeast for Aveda. So that was a big hat to wear to support 36 sales reps. But in the end of the day, I was like, I really need to use these hands. These hands want to touch. Exactly. And I thought I could do this by myself.
So Skin Chatted was born and you had a range of products.
Exactly.
How did you go about marketing them? Was it retail? Was it D2C, online only, referrals?
I have to say it was very organic that people came in. This is how old school Skin Chatted is. I ran a Groupon. That is the way back in the day, the one email a day that got featured for somebody local in wellness. They would do facials. So I did a facial Groupon and then a 3-pack of them. And then I also, like 6 months later, did a waxing one. And I had about 200 new clients. And I am proud to say that I kept them until I closed.
Literally built your community from scratch through personal appointments.
Exactly.
And that was your data set that you marketed your brand on?
Exactly. Yep. So it was my community that would come in for facials. I always like to tell people it's not really sales. It's like a best friend telling you, I have this inside scoop and this would really change your skin. And I've done the research so you don't have to. I've brought that into my CBD brand now too, because I'm so passionate about holistic health. And I really want people to know that you don't have to have chemicals and artificial dyes and fragrances and all these things that can stimulate your body, your senses, your skin. It could be a little bit cleaner and still effective.
You know, you remind me, what you're speaking about reminds me of a person who's very important in my life. Moeen, he cuts my hair. He's been cutting my hair since the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Really believe that. It's
Right.
very difficult when I'm traveling because it's a bit off to what I would prefer the length to be.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And you know, when somebody who does your hair or does your facial, they sort of become people who are very close to you.
Your
This case,
bestie.
they're bestie, and then they will
You wanna
always
keep
have ideas. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, when I go to Amy cuts my hair.
Right.
Yeah, she's great, and she comes up with crazy ideas. She said, you know, you're losing hair over here, so how about I make a tattoo? It'll cover the bald patch, and I was like, that's creative, but you know, my religion does not allow me.
Right,
to
I'm
get
not
tattoos,
doing
so
that.
I'm
Right,
not
right,
doing that,
right.
yeah.
Maybe a little spray
Maybe a
instead.
spray on, but I like to have it natural. But again, the category that I would sort of a box that I would put a person who's so personal to you would be an opinion leader. And you
Yes.
just don't want to mess with them.
Yes.
And you have to listen to what they're saying because they're like your doctors.
Sure. You know, I
They're
would,
like your attorney.
I
You
would-
won't go against with what
for
they're
sure.
saying.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that because some of these people, I call them my client friends, right? Because we've adopted this relationship from the very beginning. Then you see people through milestones and they saw me through milestones. And it's like, I joke, you know, they come for the service but stay for the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to be in the loop. And that if you also like the way somebody does something, it was a hard transition for me when I did get employees. I trained them so thoroughly. I wouldn't put them on the floor for months because I wanted them to feel as comfortable and confident as I did with all of my client friends, right? You're about to touch my friend who I've been exclusively touching for 8 years. You really have to know how they like it, what my touch would be, and then put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
So I agree. I've heard many people, nobody doesn't like you. And I'm like, well, you gotta try. I'm having a baby. I have to not be here. So in their trusting and guided hands, I felt very comfortable and confident.
Excellent. So Skin Chat was born, you had the brands going on, and you were selling through a personal network, so
Exactly.
to speak. Did you venture out into retail, conventional retail?
So I did do retail during the pandemic because I got shut down for 99 days, no services, and how I have to totally reinvent my service-based business now.
So that was the pivot.
To make money. That was the pivot. The pandemic kind of pushed me because obviously I did like definitely farmers markets and events, and I like to be in different places and represent myself in different ways. But my bread and butter was people came to me.
Okay.
So when I couldn't do that, right, I can't touch people for 99 days. How do I keep my business operations open?
That's a documentary right there, 99 days.
Right? It was 99 days of torture. And then when I got back, we had huge KN95s with shields, with scrubs, with you're so hot. I remember the first week of the pandemic back, right? We were back to work. And my husband, I had said to him, it's so hard to breathe, let alone speak and project myself through the mask and the
Yeah,
shield.
but they can't see anything.
I was so tired.
No expression.
No, right. I have very expressive eyebrows, luckily. no Botox for me. I need to let those eyebrows go up and down. But my husband, I was passed out on the couch 8 o'clock at night every night because it just took so much out of me to work with this new PPE situation. But it was to keep everyone safe. I invested in these UV sterilizers that sat in the room sterilizing for 10 minutes in between each patient and client. Like it was very intense. But in that 99 days, I hit Instagram and I started doing at-home facials, at-home treatments, and shipping products to people. They would call me on the phone. We'll do a 15-minute free consultation over FaceTime or whatever we
The
needed.
new normal.
Sure. And now it's like, that's, of course you would do that, right? But back in 2020, it was like, I feel comfortable. If you guys feel comfortable, I'd love to see your face. And these were people that were with me forever.
In a way, it sort of opened up a market where you could also potentially target customers who are not New York.
Exactly. My reach definitely did grow. And then even so much as like my CBD brand is now international. I joke, I don't ship internationally yet. That's hopefully a building block that I will grow to. But one of my clients is from Sweden, and her mom came to the States and loved skin chanted CBD so much and bulked and brought back home. And I'm like, see that? We're spreading around.
At least we're shipping globally.
Exactly.
If we're not available internationally, we're shipping globally.
Exactly.
So there's a spin to it.
Yeah.
But so tell me, I'm curious, how did CBD enter skin check?
So this is a fun story.
Yeah.
So my dog.
I think it became legal here in 21.
Exactly. Well, so CBD, yes, it's legal over all across 50 states, right? So my stuff doesn't have any THC. It's broad spectrum CBD. So what that means is you get the good parts of the plant without the psychoactive effects.
Right.
So my doggy, Boo Boo Bear, was a senior pup with bad arthritis, and I started him on it. Long story short, we went to the vet. Unfortunately, he had cancer. So sad. He ended up surviving another 3 years. We did the big, cut that big C out. But what I thought, my mind was blown. They needle stuck him 6 times and he didn't even flinch. I said, whose dog is this? My dog is such a grouch. Whose dog is this? Because his temperament was so
And he was taking
changed.
it orally?
And he was taking it orally, and that was the only thing that I had changed 6 months before. I had started a CBD regimen every single day. And it wasn't even the highest dosage, to be honest. It was still like pretty small. So then I figured, well, I've had 2 hip surgeries. I got into a bad car accident in my 20s. I'm starting to get arthritis. I wonder if it would help me. So I started taking it orally. Same thing with a tincture. So the cool thing about tinctures, it's an oil dropper and you hold it under your tongue sublingually because then it absorbs in the soft mouth tissue and gets straight into your bloodstream versus maybe eating a gummy and having to go through digestion. It's kind of negating itself a little. Right. Like takes a little longer to go through. Yeah. So, and that was just the game changer that I needed to be like, I need to tell everyone about this thing. Like the best friend relationship that I've always had with skincare clients, right? Like I found this thing, it's going to help you so much. It helped me change my life. And I had really bad pain. So like, moderate to severe, we can handle it. So my stuff is definitely higher potency than what Boo Boo Bear started on. And my shtick is it's budget friendly and high potency and high efficacy.
So now there has been much conversation about CBD from brownies to topicals to gummies to Rizla paper, lots of things. And it's just exploded. You just come up the tunnel and you come up the subway and then you have this whiff of CBD or THC. I can't tell the difference, honestly. You are the expert here, so I would want you to educate me what is it that makes me feel so good when I walk towards the office,
Right.
and then not feel so good afterwards. So what's the bad part? What's the good part? And how in the new pivot for Skin Chanted, CBD is creating a difference?
Okay, so CBD, I love these questions because there are so many misunderstandings in here and I like to clear the air. So not all CBD is created equal. So you really need to have someone that has done research. What you're getting at a gas station and what you're getting at a dispensary are very different animals. So cannabidiol, that is CBD, is derived from the same plant as marijuana, but think of them as cousins. They're not exactly the same plant. And when you extract the CBD, my CBD is broad spectrum, which means that there is zero THC in it. Now, there are CBDs with some. Full spectrum has a trace amount, less than 0.03% for in New York and America. So that means it's like, what I tell people, like if something had peanut allergy, right, and you chopped peanuts on a machine and there was the trace amounts, but it could give someone a reaction. So it's not really going to make you high. However, we make our own CBD in our bodies, so it's not foreign. So actually, when something happens, like an injury or stress, our own CBD depletes. When you've taken CBD, like Skin Chanted CBD, it buddy systems up and makes your own CBD stronger. So number one, it's not foreign for your body, but number two, the buddy system really helps. And then when you have something like broad spectrum.
So is it safe to say it's something like overcoming vitamin deficiency or zinc deficiency?
Let's say it's similar, right? Because it's something that our body naturally makes, but not enough of. Maybe like just to have a buddy is always a helpful thing, a supplement. That's kind of why the FDA hasn't really approved it yet, too. I think that there's places where it can fit, but right now we're still maybe like 5 to 10 years away from that. But there is now a CBD pill that is made for epileptic patients. So we're getting there. Pharmaceutical is leaning towards it closer than we were a few years ago. So there's also the entourage effect, which is these terpenes. Like if you've ever walked through lavender and you smell the lavender, or gone through a forest and you smell pine, those are terpenes, which also ignite something inside of you to make you feel good. So there's a lot of receptors in the brain, CB1 and CB2 receptors, that do these wonderful things with these phytocannabinoids and endocannabinoids. So it's working for homeostasis. You're really like kind of aiding in your body just flowing in a really good way. So it's not just like a gimmick that it makes you feel good inside. It's really doing wonderful things too.
And no side effects.
And no side effects. And no psychoactive for the CBD broad spectrum, and also no addiction. That's a really big deal. So I've had a couple of clients come up to me and say, I can't live without the sleep tincture now. It's my everything. And I'm like, well, so that's great that you now have
habit. Nothing to do with
exactly. And they're like, I don't want to get addicted to it. And I said, you could be without it and get crummier sleep, but why would you? Right? You don't have to now. You don't have to white knuckle it through your life. There's something that will help. And it's natural, which is great. We're not putting anything foreign in our bodies.
Yeah. So what's the consumption format for Skin Chanted? Is it a cream? Is it a topical?
So we have several. We've got gummy. It depends. I always tell people, whatever the path of least resistance to get it into your body is the right way for you. So if you prefer to use the oil, such as I do, because I like the high potency, under the tongue, you hold it sublingually for 30 seconds, and then you swallow. It's absorbed in the soft mouth tissue. So all of a sudden your body feels this wave. It could be just a minute or two later, versus something that has to go through digestion, like a capsule or a gummy. We have everything, for whatever people want. If you're more likely to swallow a pill, there's a pill for you. But for me personally and for pets, we have something like a tincture that can be an immediate.
We'll have the website under it as
Thank you.
So you can click and feel free to buy and experience quality medical grade CBD. That's the right.
Yeah, shop now.
To Enchanted.
Love it.
Skin Chanted. So what problems does it solve? Is it body aches?
So
Is it muscle soreness,
here's the
sleep,
thing.
focus?
Right. So I will say, legally, we are not allowed to claim these things for CBD. They can't be pain reducing or pain eliminating. However, it is anti-inflammatory in your body. And for my body, I can tell people my experience of having chronic arthritis in 2 hips in my 20s. I now feel great. I can jump, I can run, I can hike, I can do all these things.
Has it fixed it or has it numbed it?
Well, I would say that anything that you're doing anti-inflammatory in your body is helping reduce stress in your joints, right? Even limiting sugar, drinking more water, all of these things are for wellness, right? So if your body is functioning on all cylinders, you're going to feel better. So it can improve sleep because there's CBD and CBN. There are different endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids. So CBN is the CBD for sleeping specifically. So there's things like melatonin is a very misunderstood thing. People think it makes you sleepy when it doesn't. It actually works with the light receptors in your brain to keep things dark and keep your brain like kind of like a shade.
Sleep mode.
Exactly. But it's not going to actually make you sleepy. So something like taking the sleep tincture that has CBD and CBN will actually get you into that really zen, relaxed state. Okay. So that's what the good thing that CBD can do.
And because it's natural, we generally don't have a problem of it being having any side effects. Right?
Non-addictive, no side
will
effects.
happen? Will I get high? Or is that
Well, so I guess the higher potency that you do, like my stuff goes to medical grade, like you had said. So 2,500 milligrams of CBD per bottle. So that's like 125 milligrams per dose, 133, something like that. I double dose that every morning, 2 whole droppers under my tongue, so I can feel a little dreamy, a little floaty, but I'm certainly still me. I can still drive a car. I can still take care of my daughter. So it's not something that you feel no inhibitions or completely out of control, not like yourself, but it is something that if you are living in chronic pain, you need that dulling effect. You need kind of that dreamy state to take away that edge because it's just chronic, constant pain.
Well, I'm curious, from a design perspective, from a communications perspective, you started in 2012 with Skin Chanted, and then 4 years ago, you pivoted into CBD under the same brand name.
Well, so there was a few times. So I had started Boo Boo Bear on a different brand, and then I met a CBD retailer, and he had a few manufacturers that he worked under. So I ended up changing. Skin Chanted's first CBD line was called Enchanted Apothecary. But it was small operation in New York, and they ended up dissolving. They had owner drama, so they dissolved. So after scaling to build, 9 months in, I had my whole product line completed, product in hand, they closed. So, okay, now I know what to ask. Now I know what to look for. Now I'm just doing more education. So I tried many white label CBD companies throughout the US, and, Colorado and California had been doing it for a really long time. So I wasn't married to New York. I wanted to support my local New Yorkers, but if they can't do it, they can't. I didn't want to do this whole process again.
They'll do it without a smile.
Exactly. So my CBD, it's Enchanted CBD, is grown organically, non-GMO, made in a facility that is an FDA registered facility using GMP standards, which is the creme de la creme. My hemp is grown in Nebraska, and it is manufactured and cultivated in California and then shipped to me in New York.
And that's where it's processed
Exactly.
into a final consumable product.
Exactly. I always tell people I'm not an actual scientist. My sister is actually a scientist. I'm not a chemist making the things in the labs. There's machinery that is, multi-million-dollar facilities that have to happen. But I do get to say what goes into my CBD. And from a skincare perspective, I really like clean ingredients.
So how has the growth been so far?
It's been good,
You're available all across US.
I
and
am.
you ship globally.
And I ship, well, right. I'm going to grow to shipping globally, but people can take it with them for sure. I ship domestically. So
and they ship globally themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
You have global
Exactly. I have people and associates that can ship. Sure, why not? So Skin Chanted CBD is definitely getting its name out there. I was on an entrepreneurial game show in January called The Blocks to get my name out there. 100 businesses competing against against each other for 6 days, but it's a deep business incubator.
And was it for a raise that you're looking for? Or, because I know that you bootstrapped your business.
I have.
Day one.
Well, so there was prize money, but I was really going for the experience, education, networking. I really needed to dip my toe, and it felt like the perfect time. I closed Skinchanted Spa November 2024, and I went on the blocks January 2025. It was like, I'm not messing around. I need to learn how to do this and do it right. And bootstrapping is great, but like, what about investors? And what about, like, what do I need to know about venture capitalists?
The fancy stuff.
Sure. It's good to, I think it's good to have a starting point and a goal so you can propel yourself to the steps that you need to take to get to that place, right? And I think that it's not always a clear map. Going on the blocks was like, here's a big map.
Yeah.
Choose your destination, follow your faith. Exactly.
So, I mean, in terms of media mix or the communication mix that you have for Skinchanted, how do you go about marketing your product to people? Is it just digital only? Do you have something which is experiential? Are there any events that you are part of?
Yes, I do so many events. So I do like these collaborations with locals, but also in every industry, CBD can be prevalent, right? So trying to find my niche, trying to find my place. Instagram has been really pivotal in my career to get the word out there and to gain more access to people that maybe aren't following me, maybe don't know about CBD. But I was doing a farmer's market monthly last year. No, not in Manhattan, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I just did see a couple of dispensaries on the way over. So sometimes it's just the happenstance of you're walking and the universe says, hey, turn here. Oh, let me go in. Let me pop in. I will always create an opportunity.
That's what the gray matter does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I felt like this was the thing that I needed to do today. I'm walking and I see a place and I pop in for 5 minutes and it's a wonderful connection. And the possibility of what if is what entrepreneurs feed on, right? We are so driven to the what if and how can we make this better and how can we help more people and get our word out there. I'm so fired up
I think
about
it's
that.
the most powerful drug.
I agree.
Entrepreneurship.
Right. I agree.
You can't
CBD's got nothing on that.
I think there should be a pill called entrepreneurship that one person should take every morning and every night. Because it's something that drives you to do insane things.
Yeah.
Makes you travel.
Absolutely.
Makes you always on.
Yeah.
All the time, literally.
Makes me go to these events after I've put my baby to sleep, being like, I have to get my brand awareness out there. Who knows who I'm going to meet today?
Yeah. We spoke about gray matter and how things go about. And of course, universe has a way of making people meet through different connections. And that's what the entrepreneurial journey, or any journey for that matter, is all about. And generally, it's sort of become a tradition that whenever we end the show, there's a question that I ask. And that tells me how many episodes you've seen already.
I've only watched a few.
Right. So my question is, and it's a very subjective thing. You take your time. The whole idea is that I'm doing some insight mining whenever I ask this question. It's for a big picture, right? Sometime in the near future. What is the gray matter to you?
The gray matter is probably taking some leap of faith in myself and not overthinking it, but getting my brand out there bigger. Because I'm very small niched in New York, in the Hudson Valley, in Westchester. I think the gray matter means reach. Keep reaching, keep growing, keep doing the thing, following your feet, trusting the path, but also maybe not overthinking it, right?
Till you reach the colors.
Yes.
That's
And
a good
then
definition.
meeting like-minded people that also were like, hey, I'm coming this way. You want to come? Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it together and let's build each other up. I love collaborations. Collaborations have been wonderful. And I think that it's like to just learn a new audience or learn a new friend and learn what they're doing and the things that fuel me into helping people. I find entrepreneurs, it's like we all have this kind of dose in us. We want to help people.
Yeah. So it's like fluidity
Yeah.
that you sort of just get on the wave and ride with it.
Ride the
And
wave.
you'll reach,
Yeah.
branch out, reach,
Yeah.
collaborate, converge, diverge. And
Totally.
that's how you create a beautiful pattern.
Yeah. Nothing is a failure. It's just like the time to pivot because you've learned.
Yeah.
That's what I feel the great matter is.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was poetic.
Thank you.
And it was very CBD-ic.
Thank you.
Classic in a way.
Good.
Yeah. best wishes from us
Thank
to
you.
your venture.
Thank you.
May
I
you
appreciate this
ship
opportunity.
and may you are known globally. It's a great brand. My first order goes out tonight. And thank you very much for being there for the camera. If you would just like to show the flask,
Oh, yeah.
that's your camera.
For my feel better sooner.
Feel better sooner. That's how
That's
positioning
me,
goes.
Skin Chanted.
All right, so
CBD, feel
everyone,
better sooner.
feel better sooner till you see us next week, and we'll sign out today. Thank you,
Thank you.
and thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Nice to meet you. Thank you.